Good morning, boys and girls. So, this week we will be reading the book called The Big Mix Up. And it's written by Nicole Walker and it's illustrated by Logan Klein. So, every day this week we're going to focus on something new. Today, before we get started reading, I'm going to go over two of our magic words. The first one says grumble. If somebody is grumbling, they're pretty much just complaining. So in this book, one of the characters is going to be grumbling, and pretty much it means that they're just complaining. The second word we're going to look at is the word disaster. If something is a disaster, that means it's horrible. Something went completely wrong. So we're going to read The Big Mix-Up. And before I get started, the genre of this is animal fantasy. We know that a book that is animal fantasy means that it has characters who are animals who are talking to one another. And this falls under the fiction category because we know in real life animals cannot talk to one another. It's called The Big Mix-Up by Nicole Walker, illustrated by Logan Klein. As we're reading, we are also going to be making predictions. So our first goal for Tuesday will be to make predictions. So as I read, I will pause and I want you to make predictions about what you think is going to happen. Fox was looking all over for his friends. He looked for Squirrel and Porcupine in the oak tree, but they weren't there. So here's Fox, and we're looking at our illustrations, and it says that Fox, he was looking for his friends. He went to Porcupine's oak tree. Here it says Porcupine's den. That means that's where he lives. And here it says Squirrel's nest. And they weren't there. He looked for Pig in the big mud puddle, but Pig wasn't there. So now he's looking for Pig and he can't find him. Look at Fox. How do you guys think Fox is feeling right now? He looked down into Rabbit's hole, but Rabbit wasn't there. So here he is looking into Rabbit's hole, but Rabbit is not there. Where did everyone go? Fox wondered. Now, really quick, I want you guys to look at the word wasn't. The word wasn't is a contraction. It means that they took two words and they put them together to make one. Wasn't is the same as was not. So Fox went to find his friends. Then he saw them. They were all talking and laughing together. And look at Fox. Look at his face. The illustrations kind of show you what he's feeling like. So here's his friends. Fox saw fancy plates, balloons, a basket of food, and a cake. They are having a party and they didn't invite me, Fox grumbled. Now here's our magic word. Remember, we said grumble means to complain. So Fox, he's grumbling because he said, they're all having a party and they didn't even invite me. Fox felt sad. And then he felt angry. So, Fox hid behind a tree to watch and listen. So there's words here that describe what Fox felt like. That first one says he was sad, but then that sadness turned into anger. So here it says he was angry. Why do you guys think he was angry? Here's a list of what you have to do, Rabbit was saying. Be sure everything is ready when I get back. and Rabbit hopped away. Then, when his friends weren't looking, Fox grabbed Rabbit's list. Fox saw that each friend had a special job. Pig was supposed to set out the plates. Squirrel was supposed to hang the balloons. And Porcupine was supposed to unpack the food and put out the cake. And here in our illustrations, we see that list. So it says Pig, set out plates, Squirrel, hang balloons, Porcupine, unpack food and put out cake. Now, as good readers, we always want to make predictions. A prediction means using the clues that the author gave you in the book to try to figure out what's going to happen next. So by looking at this list, what do you think that they're up to? What do you think Pig, Squirrel, Porcupine, and Rabbit are all up to? Fox got more and more angry that he wasn't invited. So, he mixed up all the names on the list. Then he hid behind the tree again and watched. So here we know Fox was so angry that right here, he erased the names and he moved them all around. So now it says Squirrel, set out plates, Porcupine, hang balloons, Pig, unpack food, and put out cake. Do you guys think that's a good idea? What do you guys think is going to happen? Squirrel tried to set out the plates, but she tipped them over with her bushy tail. So Squirrel was trying to do her job with the new list that Fox wrote, and look what happened. Her bushy tail knocked all of those plates over. Porcupine tried to hang the balloons, but they popped on his pointy quills. Pig started to unpack the food. It looked so good, she gobbled up most of it. But she was too full to eat the cake. So look at Porcupine. It says Porcupine tried to hang the balloons, but they popped. What do you think caused them to pop? That's right, his quails. These are little pointy things, so it probably wasn't a good idea for Porcupine to be in charge of hanging the balloons because they all popped. It was a disaster. And here's our second magic word, disaster. So we know disaster means that something went horrible. Fox stayed behind the tree, laughing and laughing. So everything's going wrong and Fox is behind the tree laughing. And look at Pig. Look at Squirrel and poor Porcupine. How are they feeling about the situation? When Rabbit came back, he yelled, "What happened? This is a mess." Now, what do you guys think that they were actually preparing for? We're about to find out. Then he said, "Well, it doesn't really matter because I couldn't find Fox. So we can't have his surprise party after all." So I want you guys to think about that. It says, I couldn't find Fox, so Rabbit went to find Fox. And it says he couldn't, and they cannot have a surprise party for him after all. So who was that party for? And that was how Fox found out about his own surprise party. Oh, now look at Fox. He's not laughing anymore. Which turned out to be a lot of fun anyway. What do you guys notice about that cake? And now let's read the author's note. It says, author's note, I like to throw surprise parties and they can be lots of fun. But there's always a chance that things can go wrong. Awesome. So we're going to spend the rest of the week on this book, and every day we're going to have something to focus on. So make sure you guys read whatever that day, next to where it says shared reading. It's going to tell you what I want you to focus on for that day, okay? Have a wonderful day, boys and girls.